Today we will be talking about Chris Watts, the man, the monster, well, more of a monster than anything. Chris Watts is known for killing his wife, Shanann Watts, and his two little girls, Bella and Cece, as well as his unborn baby Nico, all in order to be with another woman. Chris is currently spending his life in prison. He is serving life in prison. Since being locked up, he claims that he has found God. He claims that he has remorse for what he did. He claims he has repented. Whatever the case may be, there are a lot of women around the world that write Chris Watts every single week, wanting to be the new love of his life, wanting to be his new wife, his new girlfriend, his new love. Has Chris Watts changed? I still believe a demon haunts inside of him. I will tell you, ladies and gentlemen, I have been in communication with Chris, and we are currently trying to set up an interview with him. But today we will be revisiting the story of Chris Watts. Let's get into it. A prison pen pal of killer husband Chris Watts has offered chilling new details about the letters they exchanged, revealing that he fantasized about murdering his pregnant wife long before he went through with it. Cheryl Lynn Cadle, 67, appeared in a new episode of Lifetime's Cellmate Secrets to share personal details from letters she exchanged with Watts, a Denver man convicted of murdering his pregnant wife Shanann and their two daughters in 2018. Cadle, a Midwest author and grandmother of 12, asserted that the murders were premeditated based on what he told her from behind bars. This footage you are seeing right now is actual footage of Chris in prison. Now let's talk about what he told this woman. This was premeditated, but since Chris has said that whenever he was choking Shanann, that his daughter walked in the room, and I guess he felt like he needed to kill her too because now she knew what happened. Was that premeditated? Did he plan on killing the children? Or did he think he was going to kill Shanann, live happily ever after with this woman, and that the kids were going to start calling her mommy? Alright, let's go ahead and watch the footage of when the police first showed up to Chris's place, responding to the reports of Shanann and the little girls missing.
What's that?
Right here you have the neighbor telling the officers that there's nothing on there. He's going through his security footage, trying to see if there's any kind of clue that could help the officers in finding Shanann. But you got to watch Chris, how he acts here in this moment. It's insane.
I'm loading my stuff up in my coolers, my water jugs, my book bag, my computers, some of the tools that I have in my toolbox. I knew I was going to have to do some pumping into rubbers today. That's why I was out so far.
Is this on continually
Yep.
recording?
Yep. Well,
It's not, is it
any
motion or is it?
event-
Okay, so it's motion.
Any motion event that happens, I get.
So remember, at this point right here, he's already killed Shanann. He's already killed his little girls, his unborn baby. And he's standing here, going through his phone, trying to help these officers. Now he's acting like a nervous Nancy. He looks like he's just about to burst into flames at any second here. However, he's now saying this was all premeditated.
Cars driving from this street. And this is him at 517.
Park out there on the side. I just want to get everything back in. Be easier, so loading everything out there, all the tools that I had to bring in.
He's acting so weird. His body language is saying, oh my God, please don't catch me in the act of what I'm doing. Everybody there knows it. The neighbors talked about it after this. We'll keep watching it, but this is just mind-blowing to me that it took them more than a day to arrest this guy. But I get it. You know, you got to have evidence. You gotta. They found the victims. But we'll continue. Watch. It gets worse.
My detective just showed up. So he'll probably want to talk to you. He'd probably, like I said, he might have you call at the bank and see if there's any kind of activity.
Because if there is any sort of action out
Out
there,
of his cameras,
I would have got it.
Like
Right.
I have had issues the other week when people were stealing stuff out of like garages and stuff like that, and I had parked my truck.
I had her park right here.
Yeah. So someone,
see if
I could
anything
see where someone tried to jimmy with a flathead screwdriver over there, and it was just like.
But if any action would have happened, any cars or anything left your house, I would
If
have
it
got
would
it.
have been like right in that area, it should have picked me.
Oh, it'll pick up anything coming down the street this way.
You know where that tree there too?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Watch, I'll show you. There's nothing on here. We've already watched that one. But like, you'll see this car.
What security system do you have?
Xfinity. Oh, you can see this car starting to drive down the street. here.
That one.
Oh,
See what I'm saying? It picks up all the way down there.
He's next door.
There we go.
I really like that neighbor right there. Like Chris is trying to save his face right here and saying, oh, you know, he's basically saying, oh, there's possibilities for error here where maybe I didn't see this or didn't see that, and the neighbor's like, no, I can get all this shit right here. So at this point right here, you can see Chris is cracking more and more by the second.
Diesel. Yeah, I thought nothing.
Nothing for the rest of the day.
No, that's it.
She's pregnant as well.
How far along?
14, 15 weeks. That's why her friend said it was low blood sugar.
Let's see. I've got her friend leaving out here at 2 in the morning, I think. My camera.
You know he was expecting at this moment, wow, this guy's gonna have me on camera carrying their bodies out of this house.
White. That's all. Her phone was still there.
She dropped her off at 1 in the morning, right?
She's done my doorbell said 1:48. She came in.
At this point, you know he's just hoping to God that this neighbor shuts up because there's going to be something useful on this tape.
This is her phone ringing at 1:48.
So as soon as it picks up motion, it'll like back off. Okay. I thought she.
That was the start of the video.
Yep.
About 1:48.
In the morning.
I didn't pick her up going into the house though.
It didn't. And I usually pick him up when he comes walking through here. I pick him up. So it doesn't show her walking into the house. they see all these people coming in and they're like, what is going on?
Yeah.
And you know it's still live because it's live and
Mm-hmm. How long does it typically record for?
30 seconds, I believe, at a time. But this is at 148, and then the next one I have is at 5 whatever. So nothing, no cars came through, because I guarantee with the headlights, it picked up the headlights
Oh, yeah.
automatically.
And my Vivint said that at 5:27, my garage door was left open. But that could have been the sensor as well. It says it was shut during the day, but I think when Nikki's son, he may try to move it.
He can't stop moving. He's looking all around. You know, he's biting his lips. He's just, it's obvious that he's so guilty.
Like going in, but you have the lock up,
That's for
so
the
that
kids,
set
so
it
they don't
off,
get out.
right?
And our remote on the outside doesn't work anymore. It got wet. It's the whole radio on the back.
So yeah, that was it.
Right. All right, appreciate your time.
Yeah, no problem.
Thanks.
Hopefully something comes up here.
Mind if you just want to go talk to him? I'm going to get his info real quick. No.
Back and forth, and if you look, he never moves his stuff in and out of the garage ever.
Right.
And it doesn't look like he came from right here. It looks like he came from down the street. And then the other thing that doesn't make sense is why would he pull past this part? You can see him pull past.
Are you able to record this?
I'd have to call Comcast, but I can get him to do whatever. But watch, you'll see him get out. And he walks back and forth a couple times.
Okay, let's talk about what we just seen here. This nervous guy that we're seeing in this video, but in the future now, is saying this was all premeditated, that he fantasized about killing his pregnant wife. How could he stand there and deny this? Nobody else could deny how he was acting. You heard the neighbor there after Chris left the house. The officer said, "Oh, I'm gonna stay here and get some information." The neighbor said, "He's not acting right." We all could see that. You could see that. Whenever we all watched this, we knew something happened. And then they found the bodies. Then the truth came to light. It slowly came to light. It's still coming to light because he's writing people, talking to people that he doesn't know, telling them the real truth. Is he really sorry? Has he really felt remorse for what he did? Has he really repented? It's hard to believe anything that a narcissist says, and Chris Watts is a narcissist. The real question is, what brings somebody to the point? What makes somebody do something like what he did? I can't think of anything. I've tried to think. I talk about this with my wife sometimes, and the easiest, most simplest way to put it is they've always had evil in them. Because a woman brought you to kill your wife and your children. Just a woman. There's nothing special about the woman. They're not even in communication now. They have nothing to do with each other. There was no real love there. And real love doesn't make you kill. What makes you kill is an evil inside. An uncaring, caring for human life. Not caring about human life. What you're looking at on the screen right now is the picture of the woman who was Chris Watts' mistress. And for this woman right here on the screen, he killed his wife, his 2 little girls, and his unborn baby, Nico. For this woman. The footage you are watching right here is footage of Chris Watts being arrested. Now, for the first time in this video, I'm going to tell you guys what Chris and I spoke about. I asked Chris questions that I have had, and I asked him how it felt when he was being arrested. And he told me that he almost felt like nothing. He felt nothing. It was hard to make heads or tails from anything he was going through. He was just emotionless.
Okay, go and face this wall. Okay, go and face me. Okay, you don't have anything on you, right? Okay, nothing in your pockets? Okay, go and face that other wall behind you. I'm just going to search you real quick. Spread your legs. Further. Okay, turn around and face me. No earrings, necklaces, anything like that? Okay. Let's walk out this way. Straight. Go out that door to your left. Just eat.
Right now, what we're going to do is we're going to watch some of Chris Watts' trial. And at the end of that, I'm going to tell you my thoughts on the trial, as well as some of the questions I will have for Chris if I ever get this interview granted. I think there's a good chance of it happening. Been working at it for a long time. I haven't really told anybody till now. So it is something that potentially really could happen. I'm hoping to God that it does. And I have a long list of questions, so I will tell you guys some of those.
Do you have individuals who would like to make a statement?
I do. Your Honor, if I could first call upon Frank Rusick to join me at the podium.
Thank you. Good morning, Mr. Rusick.
Good morning. Well, I'd like to say to the courts that Shannon, Bella, and Nico are loving, caring people. They love life. They love being around people who love them. They always had good times. This is the first time they went to the beach this year, and they loved it. But God only knows what happened that night. Life will never be the same without Shannon, Bella, and Celeste and Nico. Had all their lives to live. They were taken by a heartless one. This is the heartless one, the evil monster, who dare you take the lives of my daughter Shannon, Bella, Celeste, and Nico. I trusted you to take care of them, not kill them. and they also trusted you. The heartless monster, and then you take them out like trash. You disgust me. They were loving and caring people. You may have taken their bodies from me, but you will never take the love they had for me. They loved us more than you will ever know, because you don't know what love is, because if you did, you would not have killed them. You monster, thought you would get away with this. I don't know how. The cameras do not lie. You carry them out like trash of the house. Yes, I seen the videotape. You buried my daughter Shannon and Nico in a shallow grave, and then you put Bella and Celeste in huge containers of crude oil. You heartless monster. You have to live with this vision every day of your life, and I hope you see that every time you close your eyes at night. Oh, I forgot. You have no heart or feelings or love. Let me tell you something. I will think of them every day of my life, and I love them every day of my life. Prison is too good for you. This is hard to say, but may God have mercy on your soul. I hope you enjoy your new life. It's nothing like the one you had out here. May the courts have no mercy on you. It's hard every day. It hurts in so many ways. I have heard people say that you're not a monster. No, you are not. You're an evil monster. Thank you. Love you, Shannon, Bella, and Nico. Love you, Pop and Dad. And one other thing. And Shannon says she is super excited for justice today. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir.
That was tough. That was tough. That was tough for that father. That's tough for me as a father, hearing that pain. And I think the thing that gets me the most about the footage from the trial is, speaking of emotionless, that's exactly what you see in Chris. I don't think he's ever come to terms with what he's done, how he should feel, how dehumanized he has dehumanized himself.
Your Honor, the past 3 months I barely slept because I've been going through a lot of different emotions because I did not see this coming. You went from being my brother, my sister's protector, one of the most loved people in my family, to someone I will spend the rest of my life trying to understand. What gave you the right to put your hands on a woman, let alone my best friend, my beloved sister, your daughters, and your son? Why weren't they enough for you? In the blink of an eye, you took away my whole world, the people that mattered to me the most. Everything in my life I loved, your children. They trusted you. They loved you. They looked up to you because you promised to keep them safe. Instead, you turned on your family. My blood is boiling as I write these last words because they are the last you will ever hear from me. I can't even think of the right words to describe the betrayal and the hate I feel. And to be honest, you aren't even worth the time and effort it takes to put my pen to this paper. There isn't a day that goes by that I don't cry for my family. They were my whole world. All I do is ask myself why. Why would you do this? You don't deserve to be called a man. What kind of person slaughters the people that love them the most? Did you really think you would get away with this? Did you really think that this was your best option, to throw away your family like they were garbage? They deserve better, and you know it. I hope you spend the rest of your life staring at the ceiling every night, being haunted by what you've done. None of us deserved this. Hearing my mother and father cry themselves to sleep in this hotel room causes me anguish that is beyond words. I can't describe how this feels, how badly my heart is breaking for my poor parents. We trusted you. You have taken away my family from this earth, but you can never take them from my heart. You took away my privilege of being an uncle to the most precious little girls I've ever known. I will never hear the words Uncle Frankie again, but you will never be called Dad again either. You'll never be able to put your hands on another woman, let alone my best friend, my beloved sister, and your son. I just can't comprehend how they weren't enough for you. Shanann, Bella, and Cece loved you more than anyone. You were their hero. How could you destroy the people who loved them the most? I pray that you never have a moment's peace or a good night's rest in the cage you'll spend every day of your life in. A cage you are privileged to live in because my family isn't evil like you. We begged the district attorney to spare your life because despite everything, we believe that no one has the right to take the life of another, even someone like you. I feel sorry for your family. I know the pain that they must feel knowing that they can't hug you, because that's how my mother, father, and I feel every time we cry for our family. Nothing hurts more than watching or hearing my family weep for their loved ones. I just wish that I could tell that you would tell the truth, but I know that that is asking for more than you are capable of. I stayed up all night writing this statement. I don't sleep because of you. My life will never be the same because of you, but at least my conscience is clear. I get to live free, but I can't say the same for you. I haven't slept in 2 days because I've been anxiously waiting for this moment, the moment I get to tell you how I feel, how this has affected my family and I. My family and I can finally grieve after today. If anything, we will come out of this stronger today than we were before, and we will continue to pray for your family. Sincerely, Frankie Rusick.
Thank you, Mr. Russo.
Again, it's super hard to listen to. And what a strong young man. Having to, even the attorney reading that, you can just see the emotion running through this young man, and you can't see any emotion running through Chris. What I get from Chris is he's awaiting the numbers. He's awaiting the sentence. There's no heart there. There's no tears.
Good morning.
Good morning, Your Honor. Thank you for this moment.
If I can just have you just identify yourself for the record.
My name is Sandra Rusak, Shannon's mother.
Thank you.
I wanted to say thank you for this moment. I want to take a moment to thank everyone who has prayed for our beloved family, who had sent gifts, cards to us from all over the world. I know God will put the evil people where they need to be. I also want to take the time to thank the town of Frederick, Greeley, FBI, the DA's office, the CBI, for exceptional work. We thank Nicole Atkinson, Shannon's neighbor, Nathan, and his family. To me, they're our heroes. They really are. God bless. God makes no mistakes on who he puts in your life. Marriage is about love, trust, and friendship and unity. We marry for sickness and health, to death do us part. Our daughter Shannon loved you with all of her heart. Your children loved you to the moon and back. Shannon's family was her world. Shannon put a crown on your head. But unfortunately, the day that you took their life, God removed that crown. We loved you like a son. We trusted you. Your faithful wife trusted you. Your children adored you, and they also trusted you. Your daughter Bella Marie sang a song proudly. I don't know if you got to see it, but it was, "Daddy, you're my hero." I have no idea who gave you the right to take their lives. But I know God and his mighty angels were there at that moment to bring them home to paradise. God gives us free will. So not only did you take the family of four, your family of four, you took your own life. I want the world to know that our daughter and her children were so loved by us. They will always be protected by God and his mighty angels. I didn't want death for you because that's not my right. Your life is between you and God now, and I pray that he has mercy for you. From Shannon's mother, Bella Marie, Celeste Catherine, and Nico Lee's Nana. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Chris did not just kill his wife and his children, his unborn child. He killed an entire family. You look at the pain, and there was more people from the family that spoke. But look at the father. Look at the father, how broken. The mother, how broken. The brother, how broken. The family, the community, the world. A monster did this. A monster continues to live. Maybe he's a caged monster, but there's one thing that we know about monsters. No matter caged, no matter what, they always will have monster inside of them. And I believe that the monster inside of Chris Watts is very, very evil, untrustable, demonized, dehumanized. Chris Watts, I believe, is an animal. I do believe people make mistakes in this world. I do believe that you can come from zero to hero, that you can have remorse, that you can repent, that you can be forgiven. But in a situation like this, I wonder if God forgives him. I wonder if the spirits of Shanann, of Cece, of Bella, baby Nico, can forgive their father who smothered them, who stuffed them in an oil drum. I have my doubts.
I want to acknowledge the Rusick family as well as the Watts family that showing mercy on Mr. Watts is understood, and I respect that decision to request that the district attorney not seek the death penalty in this case. And so the court is going to accept this plea bargain under the circumstances. Words that come to mind when I hear the evidence in this case are a senseless crime and the viciousness of the crime. And equally aggravating in this court's determination is the despicable act of disposing of the bodies in the manner in which they were done in this case. I've been a judicial officer now for starting my 17th year, and I could objectively say that this is perhaps the most inhumane and vicious crime that I have handled out of the thousands of cases that I have seen. And nothing less than a maximum sentence would be appropriate, and anything less than the maximum sentence would depreciate the seriousness of this offense. So the court is going to sentence Mr. Watts as follows. With regard to count number 1, murder in the first degree as it relates to Shanann Watts, the court is going to sentence you, sir, to a life sentence in the Colorado Department of Corrections, followed, with no possibility of parole. And that is going to run consecutively to all but counts 3 and 4. With regard to count 2, as it relates to murder in the first degree with Bella, the court is going to sentence you to life in the Colorado Department of Corrections with no possibility of parole. With regard to count number 3, the court is going to sentence you as it relates to Celeste to life in the Colorado Department of Corrections with no possibility of parole. With regard to counts 4 and 5 relating to Bella and Celeste as a different theory of first-degree murder, the court is going to sentence you to life in the Colorado Department of Corrections, and legally those sentences must run concurrently as a different theory of first-degree murder. Recognizing the unlawful termination of pregnancy for the unborn child that has been named Nico, the court absolutely believes that the maximum sentence of 48 years would be appropriate to run consecutive to the other charges, with an additional mandatory parole period of 3 years as set forth by statute. With regard to count number 7, as it relates to tampering with a deceased body, as well as counts 8 and 9, each a class 3 felony, the court is going to impose a maximum sentence of 12 years each for those counts to run consecutively to the other counts. The court is going to order that statutory fees be paid and court costs. The court's going to grant the prosecution 91 days to file a notice of restitution, and that will be the sentence of the court.
Well, there it is. You're just never getting out. That's it. I personally wanted to see him get the death penalty. However, I have a tremendous amount of respect for this family. They have some huge hearts. They are full of love. Obviously, the exact opposite is Chris Watts. His leg shaking there towards the end was the only bit of, the rest of the time it almost looks like he's mad to me. He's in concentration. He's trying, he's trying to not show emotion that he's about to break, and that's my interpretation of it. Life in prison, 100%. I agree with what the family says. God is the only judge. Judge not lest thee be judged, and God is the judge to judge thee. So here are some of the questions I will be asking Chris Watts if I get the full interview and I'm able to film it and everything. Are you going to blame your actions on your childhood? Do you have any regrets about the crimes you've committed? What was going through your mind when committing each murder? What could have helped you not reach this point? Do you feel like the spirits of your wife, of your children, haunt you? Are you truly sorry? Do you truly feel remorse for what you did? If you had another chance to go back in time, what would you have done different? What would you do different? Or would you commit the same crime? Do you feel like there's evil inside you? And if you don't feel like there's evil inside you now, did you feel the evil inside you at the time you committed these crimes? Is it hard for you to sleep at night? What haunts you the most about what you did? Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Jody Dean. The channel is Hunting the Dead. Feel free to subscribe, leave a like on the video, comment below. Feel free to share this on social media. Post every other day here. Always a live chat, always a live premiere. But until next time, sweet nightmares.